Feral hog hunting in TXS lately. Wild hogs have been wreaking havoc on my grandfather's farm deep in rural Texas, tearing up crops, endangering livestock, and putting decades of hard work at risk. Every morning he walks through the barns with a heavy heart, knowing these aggressive animals are getting bolder. That's when we made a decision. This August we're heading out on a hunting trip. Not for sport, but for survival, for our land, and for peace of mind. Want to see how it all unfolds? Drop a 1 in the comments and stick around. We kicked off the hunt at dawn near Ryan's Woods. Our team split into smaller groups, each assigned a path where hogs were known to roam. It wasn't long before movement stirred in the distance. A herd was sprinting across the clearing, but we stayed sharp, calm, waiting for the right moment. One hog lagged behind. I raised my rifle, took a breath, and pulled the trigger. A gust of wind swept through the trees as the shot rang out. What? A start. Further down the trail, Sarah moved silently, eyes locked on the brush ahead. A few soft crunches, footsteps. A hog broke cover. Without hesitation, she took the shot, clean, perfect. For Sarah, this hunt wasn't about proving something. It was about protecting what matters, with strength, skill, and fierce confidence. Hunting isn't just for men, it's for warriors. With heart, my group pushed deeper into the forest where every sound meant something. After about 20 minutes of stillness, rustling leaves signaled movement. I gave a quick signal. Then, boom, a herd exploded into view. Instinct kicked in. We fired. One hog dropped. The adrenaline? Unmatched. And in forests this dense, with visibility barely a few feet, even a single hit counts. Later, I tracked a lone hog deeper into the trees, this time on my own. Just me in the quiet until it wasn't. I spotted it, aimed fast, fired. The hog stumbled, then fell. The stillness returned, but only for a moment. Hunting dogs barked in the distance. We followed their calls, closing in fast. Suddenly, a massive black shape burst from the bushes. I froze, exhaled slowly, and squeezed the trigger. Bullseye. With our work in the forest complete, we moved into the open grasslands. Out here, the dogs had already flushed out our last target. No trees to block the view. Just one clean shot to finish the day. We took it, and with that, the hunt was done. Every step we take is careful, every shot counted, every rule followed. This isn't just hunting, it's land management, wildlife control, and a fight to protect what's ours. Texas land doesn't give up easy, and neither do we. FERLHOGTHREATINHIEUNTR feral hogs are no longer just a nuisance. They're a rising danger. Reports in Texas newspapers have confirmed a disturbing trend. Locals in hill country are being attacked, farmland is torn apart, and the threat is growing by the day. That's why we geared up and headed straight into the heart of it to take back control of our land, before it's too late. Using a high-precision tracking app, we moved fast to intercept one of the T. Hogs on the move. And like clockwork, it appeared massive, bristling, and charging toward a watering hole. It sensed us, froze for a moment, but not fast enough. One shot, clean, instant. The beast dropped where it stood. It was a clear message. We were here, and we weren't backing down. We climbed higher, releasing the hunting dogs into formation. Their barks cut through the thick air, alerting us something was coming. I clutched my rifle tighter and edged forward, every muscle on high alert. Then, from the brush, it exploded, a massive feral hog, snarling and charging. I didn't hesitate. 5 quick shots. The hog collapsed instantly, no time for it to retaliate. Moments later, wild barking erupted again across the ridge. This was far from over. Meanwhile, Mike and Tom were threading through dense tree cover on the opposite slope. It was slow, tense work, every step calculated. Then came their moment. Mike dropped to a crouch, leveled his rifle, and fired. That close-range encounter could have gone either way, but his nerves held steady. When danger is just feet away, only sharp instincts and precision can make the difference between success and disaster. We kept moving. This hunt wasn't about comfort, it was about control. Then we heard it again. Barking. Fast. Aggressive. The dogs were driving something toward us. We froze, scanning the terrain. A black shadow darted forward, another hog, running wild. I raised my rifle, locked on, and fired. One perfect shot, and the hog dropped hard. No room for error. As seasoned hunters, we know hogs don't announce their arrival with noise. Sometimes it's about gut instinct. I tracked one in near silence, caught a glimpse through the trees, and fired. The shot hit, but the hog didn't stop. It took 3 more rounds to bring the beast down. These creatures are tough, relentless, and dangerously unpredictable. Later that day, the skies opened. Rain poured down over the forest, making the terrain slick and the hunt more treacherous. Most of us retreated to the rally point, but Mike stayed behind, patient as ever. That patience paid off. Through the mist and rain, he spotted movement, took a steady breath, and fired. One shot. One clean takedown. This isn't just about hunting. It's about protecting our land, our people, and our way of life. Feral hogs are a serious threat to Texas communities. But as long as we're out here, watching, listening, and standing guard, they won't win. SPECIALFERLHOGUNTIGT10ASPLAINS. The next morning, we joined a critical mission deep in the Texas plains. This wasn't just any hunt. It was an emergency response. We'd received an urgent call. Dozens of feral hogs were tearing through farmland, destroying crops, and terrifying the local community. There was no time to waste. We immediately teamed up with seasoned local hunters to launch a full-scale operation. This wasn't sport, it was protection, and the clock was ticking. Before first light, we reached the rugged rocky hills near the Colorado River, a place hunters call feral hog heaven. After a short but intense hike, we heard it, the sharp, excited barks of our dogs echoing through the canyon. I quickly radioed in our position and signaled the team to set the ambush. Every step counted. Then, there it was, my target. I didn't hesitate. One clean shot, direct hit. The hog never saw it coming. Down the slope, John and I fought our way through thick brush. Visibility was poor, but with our 4-legged hunters leading the charge, nothing could surprise us. Suddenly, a dark shadow burst from the undergrowth. "Incoming!" I shouted. The hog charged hard, fast, and straight toward John. But this beast picked the wrong fight. John fired. 2 shots, perfect aim. The hog dropped mid-sprint. That's what experience looks like. At the foot of the hill, our job was to intercept anything trying to escape. Minutes passed in silence. Then the barking picked up again, closer this time. I gripped my rifle tighter. Out of nowhere, a hog tore through the underbrush like a missile. I aimed, fired, and just like that, it was down. 1 shot, 1 solution. Are you someone who feels that surge of adrenaline when the moment demands action? If so, drop a 2 in the comments. If not, drop a 5 and tell us why you'd pass on the hunt. This terrain isn't just remote, it's ideal for feral hogs. Rich vegetation, natural cover, and plenty of food make it the perfect hiding ground. But the hogs out here aren't just big, they're aggressive, bold, and dangerous. Case in point, the one we just dropped. Moments later, our dogs started barking wildly again. something else was coming. I repositioned fast, predicted its path, and waited. It tried to change direction but committed to a head-on charge. One well-timed shot. Game over. Even as dusk settled in, the chase didn't stop. Our dogs picked up another trail fast. Suddenly, we spotted it. A herd. Firing now would be reckless. We held our position, hearts pounding. Then, the herd broke. Through the tree line, right into our line of fire. "Take them!" I shouted. I dropped 3 in seconds. It was a blur of instinct, skill, and speed. Just as we were preparing to call it a day, worn out and ready to rest, fate had other plans. A final hog sprinted across our path, breaking the calm. Without thinking, I raised my rifle one more time, one shot, one last takedown. Even in exhaustion, we never look away, not when lives, land, and livelihoods are on the line. Because out here, hunting feral hogs isn't just instinct, it's our duty. FERLHOGMENACENDRESPONSIB. ILLIT. Why, when my friend told me fearing up fields and threatening local farmers' livelihoods, I knew one thing for sure: this wasn't just a problem. It was a call to action. At dawn, without wasting a minute, we packed our gear and set out. This hunt wasn't for sport, it was for protection, for the people depending on that land to survive. We arrived quietly, every step deliberate. The Texas wild has ears. Thanks. To our hunting dogs, tracking was swift. That's when I saw it movement in the brush. My heart pounded. The hog knew it was being watched. It tried to bolt, but I was faster. One clean shot. Down in seconds. The barks of our dogs guided us to another target, this one cornered deep. In the undergrowth. The shot wasn't easy, but I waited, lined up just right, and fired. Another perfect takedown, but then something unexpected. The sky darkened. Our dogs started barking with fierce urgency. My grandfather and I rushed to the sound, and what we saw was shocking. An entire herd burst out of the bush like a stampede. My grandfather fired, but they scattered like ghosts into the forest. Shaken but not defeated, we pushed on toward the hillside. That's when we heard it a struggle. Somewhere nearby, something was happening. I crept forward, rifle up, every muscle tense. Then a hog dashed into view. Bang! Another clean hit. Our team closed in with practiced coordination. Gunshots echoed across the valley, everyone carefully placed. It wasn't chaos, it was strategy, precision, years of training put to the PDA. Test dot. Just as we thought we'd earned a break, another hog charged straight at us from the brush. Let this be a warning, never drop your guard. Feral hogs are aggressive, fast, and deadly when threatened. Always keep your distance, and always trust your team and your dogs. Their instincts are sometimes the only thing standing between you and serious danger. Later, we made our way to the western hills of Comal County, one of the worst-hit areas. The moment we arrived, it was game on. Within minutes, we spotted a massive hog sprinting across the field. We fired and dropped it clean, but that wasn't all. More hogs followed, scattered through the brush. Barking exploded around us. Hunters shouted commands, and we pushed forward in waves. One hog down. Then another. Then another. The sheer size of these beasts was shocking. Thick muscle, tusks like blades, moving through the forest like tanks. We relocated to a lower hill with better visibility. That's when I saw it, a huge hog running across the clearing. I held my breath, focused, fired one bullet. One takedown. As we tracked deeper into the brush, I set up a quiet ambush. Moments later, a hog burst through the thicket. My rifle was already raised. Boom, clean hit. But then, chaos. A group emerged, bristles raised, eyes wild. They scattered, but we gave chase. Eventually, I caught one in my sights. It paused just long enough. Another one down. We weren't finished. Another tried to escape across the hillside. Bad move. I spotted it, fired, and it fell where it stood. Even near the end of our journey, tracks kept appearing. More signs. More threats. Near a dense thicket, I saw one last target. I took position, aimed, and finished the job. On our way back to camp, a few stragglers crossed our path. Fast, sharp, and dangerous. But I stayed calm, waited, fired. Clean, calculated shots. The day was finally done, but it left a lasting impression. Here's the truth. Feral hogs breed year-round 4 to 10 piglets per litter. That's why this problem is growing so fast. What we did today matters, but it's just one step in a long, ongoing battle. These creatures aren't just pests. They're highly intelligent, highly destructive animals. If we don't act, they'll take over more land, more farms, more futures. Thanks for staying with us till the end. If you believe in protecting land and livelihoods, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We've got more hunts ahead and more stories to tell. See you in the next one. WILDCATHUNTINGANDCONSEIOND. Wildcat, also known as the continental wildcat, is one of the most elusive and misunderstood predators in the natural world. Found across Europe, Asia, and parts of Africa, these animals thrive in dense forests, remote grasslands, and wetlands habitats that offer the perfect blend of cover and hunting grounds. In Europe, they roam coniferous and deciduous forests. In Asia, they stretch from Tibet to Central Asia even, surviving in harsh highland regions. Want to learn how governments handle this complex species? Leave comment number 1 and let's explore it together. Wildcats are born hunters. Solitary and nocturnal, they rely on stealth, patience, and pinpoint accuracy to catch prey, mainly rodents, small birds, and insects. Their natural agility and climbing ability make them top-tier predators in the wild. But even these skilled creatures face growing challenges. As of October 2024, Europe's wildcat population stands at around 800,000, though they're not evenly spread. While populations in Eastern Europe and the Caucasus remain stable, wildcats in Nordic regions are struggling. That's why conservation groups are working overtime to protect wildcat habitats and reduce human impact, because the future of this species hangs in the balance. But here's the other side of the story. In some regions, especially near hills and farmlands, wildcats have been reported attacking livestock, chickens, rabbits, goats, even threatening pets. And in rare cases, when cornered, they can become aggressive toward humans. These aren't isolated cases, they're rising incidents forcing local authorities to act. In response, some governments temporarily authorized wildcat hunting in late 2024, a tightly regulated effort aimed at reducing dangerous encounters and protecting livelihoods. Hunting is only allowed during specific seasons under strict guidelines to maintain a sustainable balance. Do you support this controlled measure? If yes, comment number 2. If not, comment number 5 and tell us why. Hunting wildcats isn't easy. It demands skill, patience, and deep respect for the animal and the environment. From dense plateaus to marshy wetlands, these landscapes offer wildcats the perfect cover and hunters a serious challenge. Thick vegetation makes visibility poor and distances unpredictable. To hunt responsibly, it's essential to understand wildcat behavior and follow all safety regulations. Hunters use prey sound decoys and simulated calls to lure wildcats within range, typically 70 to 200 meters. Accuracy matters. Head or chest shots ensure a quick, humane takedown. Anything less is unacceptable. In Montana, where wildcats are prevalent, Officials have introduced licensed foot traps in remote forested regions, restricted to specific zones to ensure ethical use. These traps, paired with protective gear, reduce danger and make population control more efficient. In fact, Montana recorded 4,800 wildcats harvested in 2023, a state record. Meanwhile, California, despite hosting the largest wildcat population, capped the harvest at 3,500 to preserve its delicate ecosystem. According to the American Wildlife Conservation and Game Association, between 200,000 and 550,000 wildcats are hunted annually in the U.S. This isn't just numbers, it's impact. Wildcat damage to poultry farms dropped 25% last year, thanks to responsible hunting and better management strategies. During hunting season, experienced hunters may harvest 3 to 4 wildcats per day, depending on terrain, weather, and animal density. Afterward, nothing goes to waste. Wildcat meat is turned into flavorful local dishes, and their luxurious fur is used in the high-end fashion market, supporting both rural economies and local artisans. But the benefits go beyond the economic. Responsible wildcat hunting plays a vital role in conservation. It protects farmers, prevents overpopulation, reduces human-wildlife conflict, and ensures wildcats continue to thrive in the right habitats without threatening those who share the land with them. In the end, it's about balance. Hunting, when done right, is not destruction, it's management. It's about preserving ecosystems, respecting tradition, and protecting both people and predators. Thanks for staying with us until the end. If you believe in conservation through responsible action, give this video a like and subscribe for more wildlife stories, updates, and field reports. See you in the next one. RHINOHUNTINGISTAF on a quiet June morning in 2025, in the wide-open savannas of East Africa, a peaceful rural community awoke to chaos. Out of nowhere, a herd of 7 massive rhinos, each weighing over 4,500 pounds, charged into a residential area. Within 30 minutes, 3 homes were crushed, roads were blocked, and traffic ground to a halt. Thankfully, no one was injured, but the message was clear. Human-wildlife conflict is no longer rare, it's a growing emergency. If you're curious about how rhinos are shaping life in East Africa, drop a comment with number 1 and dive deeper into this critical issue. These road-crossing rhinos have become a nightmare for residents and travelers alike. From trucks to tourist buses, vehicles are often stuck for hours when rhinos decide to take over the road. As fear spreads, international tourism has suffered. In 2025 alone, East Africa's tourism sector dropped by 15%, translating to a staggering $250 million in losses and thousands of local jobs affected. While Africa's rhino population is estimated at 17,000 to 19,000 white rhinos and 4,500 to 5,500 black rhinos. Unchecked growth in certain zones can spell trouble not just for people, but for the entire ecosystem. These herbivores consume up to 100 kilos of vegetation daily, and when food becomes scarce, they're pushed closer to human settlements. To address the danger and restore balance, East African governments have implemented tightly regulated rhino hunting policies not as a casual sport, but as a calculated strategy to reduce human-wildlife conflict, protect communities, and manage environmental strain. Every policy is designed with conservation and sustainability in mind. The dry season, May to September, is the ideal time for this management process. With water sources concentrated and visibility high, it becomes easier to monitor rhino behavior and movement across the grasslands. It's also when trained hunters step in to prevent future disasters. but hunting rhinos in East Africa is not open season. It's a privilege earned through strict legal compliance. Only 200 to 300 licensed hunters are approved annually, most of them international, and every participant must meet demanding criteria. Think hunting is an effective method of control? Comment 2 if yes, or 5 if you think there's a better way. Each hunter must hold a professional license, and international hunters must secure a CITES permit under global wildlife trade laws, with only 80 to 120 permits issued per year. This is no free-for-all. Hunters must use powerful, ethical calibers like the .375H and H Magnum, 416 Rigby, or .458 Lot, ensuring that any shot is as humane and quick as possible. Safety and precision go hand in hand. Most hunters form small units of 2 to 3, approaching rhinos with extreme caution. They track from 30 to 90 feet, using natural cover like trees or rocks, always moving against the wind to stay undetected. One wrong move, and a 5,000-pound rhino could charge. Break the rules and you pay the price. Fines reach up to $30,000, and violators risk losing their license and gear. These policies are in place to protect both hunters and wildlife, ensuring rhino management is ethical, sustainable, and closely monitored. During each hunt, teams of 3 to 5 work together to maximize safety. Rhino takedowns require at least 2 to 3 well-placed shots, usually to the heart-lung area, to ensure the animal doesn't suffer. Specialized off-road vehicles are used to track movement, recover carcasses, and navigate the terrain. Note: hunting is strictly prohibited in protected areas like Serengeti National Park and Ngorongoro Conservation Area. These are sanctuaries, not hunting zones. The line between conservation and control is respected at all times. Once the rhino is down, hunters follow through with a full report: location, age, sex, permit ID submitted to the East African Environmental Management Agency. These reports allow wildlife authorities to monitor populations and prevent ecological imbalance. But here's the real question. Are hunting policies the final answer, or should we be exploring alternative solutions like relocating rhinos, reinforcing fencing, or using non-lethal deterrence? It's a complex debate, one that needs your voice. Drop a comment with your thoughts. Should we manage through hunting or rethink our approach entirely? Whether you agree or not, one thing is clear: this issue goes beyond the wild. It affects communities, economies, and ecosystems. Wildlife is powerful, but so is our responsibility to manage it wisely. If this video helped you understand the real-world balance between conservation and safety, smash that like button and subscribe for more untold stories from the front lines of wildlife conflict. See you in the next